We are back on MorningLine. Thanks for joining us live. Nick Barris here, along with Dr. Friday Burke, our financial expert. Appreciate her coming on with us almost every week. Thank you again, Doc, for joining us. And let's be real clear. You're not a medical doctor in any way, but you are a financial expert, okay?
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Listen, thank you for joining us. And we've got phone calls and messages on Facebook at newschannel5.com. Let's go next to, I believe, Thomas. Thomas, good morning. Do you have a question? Hi, Thomas.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. What's on your mind?
My benefit, I was getting unemployment, and my benefits recently exhausted, like March the 18th, and I knew they said they was going to be doing extensions, but when I go to do my recertification, it's just still saying in process, so I'm trying to see, like, do we still get the extensions and the $600, or how is it going to go?
All right, I'll see. I've got some thoughts, but you go ahead, Dr. Friday.
Yeah. How long have you been on unemployment?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me how long you've been on unemployment? How long have you been on? Let me see. Let me put him on hold. Hang on. How long have you been on unemployment?
Since October.
October. So October, November. Okay.
So he's been on. He's probably exhausted. Now, he hasn't probably hit the federal, but the federal really only qualifies for individuals that lost their job from February on. It's not for individuals that were unemployed prior to the actual outbreak or the pandemic. So in his case, he may actually have maximized his benefits under the unemployment laws.
Okay, so that's the case, and I hadn't thought of that. Now, if you're someone who inside that window has gone through that, and for some reason you haven't gotten your unemployment benefit, my understanding is when they finally do get to it, if it's a few weeks in, you will get the back pay on that.
100% correct. And I do have several clients that are getting both federal and state unemployment. So they're getting the maximum of the $875, I believe it is, in unemployment right now. Now, it's not, everyone's not going to qualify. It does matter on how much money you made, the type of job you had, etc. But a portion of federal along with state should be coming that direction. But again, it really is, and anyone that got unemployed due to the pandemic, which would be people unemployed basically from February on, will still be within the window. And Nick is 100% correct. They will be giving you from the date of unemployment backwards. They are just, again, talk about another organization that is totally backlogged due to the number of people trying to get in. And then they've added, like, a lot of people, like the unemployed also is the self-employed, and those individuals normally don't qualify for any, but under the current pandemic they do qualify for unemployment.
Yeah, it's interesting too. By an odd quirk, there are some out there that are making more money right now on unemployment than they were on the job that they lost. And that's because of the 600.
Yeah, we have several cases that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we have several cases where people are getting the PPP loan, trying to hire back those employees, and they won't come back because they are actually going to get less going to work than they're getting on unemployment. So not necessarily a good thing.
Let's be clear on that, though. I mean, isn't part of the deal with unemployment is you can collect it, but you have to show you're actively looking for another job?
Not under the current laws. They're not requiring that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's go next to Gary. Gary, good morning. What's your question?
Hello.
Hi, Gary. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, Nick and Don Friday. Thanks for taking my call. I got a comment and a couple of questions. I'm on SSI and Social Security. I draw 2 checks a month. The question is that, and of course they answered them early in the program, that I would be receiving a stimulus check. We get on the website of the IRS, and I wasn't sure whether I would get a paper check or whether I would get a direct deposit, and I couldn't find out anything because, like I said, I've got a government phone that I don't have the internet or email.
Well, do you have a direct deposit? Where does your money come from Social Security? Does that go straight into your bank account?
Yeah, I have a direct deposit with that.
Into your bank,
yes,
not
sir.
Into a card, but right into your bank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Dr. Friday.
Yeah, you've got the right answer, Nick. That will be getting direct deposit. It's going to be several more weeks because they're looking at sometime in the first week or so of May, but it will be a direct deposit into the same account that your Social Security gets deposited into.
Now, when you say it's going to be several weeks, haven't some Social Security recipients already received their check or their payment?
Only people that are solely on Social Security, non-filers, my understanding is no. Again, if people are out there watching or listening or on Facebook, please update me on any of that. But the ones that I'm hearing from, the answer is no one's received them yet.
Okay, so for you and a lot of people wondering why they haven't when some other folks have is because it's going to be kicking in May. So keep looking for that and you'll get that pleasant surprise in your bank account if you have direct deposit. Let's go next to Paulette. Paulette, good morning. What's your question? Hi, Paulette.
Hello, hi. Nice to meet you.
Okay, well, I think she missed out. Let's go next to Tony. Tony, good morning. Hi, Tony. Are you there, Tony?
Yes, good morning. How you doing?
Good. What's your question, sir?
I have a two-part question. The first part is people that's on Social Security disability insurance but are paying back pay child support, do they still get a check? And also, would a person that was working part-time, should they file for unemployment or are they not eligible?
Okay.
Great questions. So if you have any payment in the arrears for child support, you'll get a check, but it will go against your account on the arrears. So the person that is in the arrears will not receive it, but the person that is raising the children and in the arrears, they'll get it and it'll apply towards your account. If you are a part-time employee, my understanding is there is some unemployment for you. It really would depend on how long you worked, how many hours. I mean, if you work 2 hours a week, there's not going to be enough unemployment to actually qualify you. If you were working 30 hours or 22 or whatever part-time is every week and you have several weeks, then yes, there would be unemployment for you. So it would really depend on the number of hours and how long you were part-time.
Okay, great. More comments on Facebook. Aurora asking when are they sending out the physical checks? As we've talked about, Dr. Friday, we understand the first of the month of May. And then Robert saying and trying to explain to someone else, you'll get your SSI and your $1,200 stimulus check at the same time on direct deposit, he believes, next Friday the 1st, which very well may be the case.
Yes, it's very well may be the case. Again, and it'd be interesting. It'd be great for people to kind of go back onto the Facebook and tell people, hey, we've received the checks, we've received actual paper checks. So that way more and more people we can kind of put at ease, because the ones that I'm usually getting calls from or emails or texts are people that haven't yet received and wanting to know where it is.
Excellent.
And I wish
again,
I had a direct access.
People asking again about Direct Express and things like that. Again, if it's on some type of card, it has to be linked with some kind of bank number and bank account. I'm not real familiar with the different cards that are all out there, but I've heard from several people. So some people on Social Security have the money directly deposited into some kind of card that's almost a credit type card that's separate from the bank account. If you have one of those, you believe that they're going to get the check in mail, not going into a card, but only if you have a card that's Direct Express that is directly linked to your bank account.
That is my understanding, yes. I mean, they have to have the full tracking information, and I'm thinking cards are probably just not in the basic system. Now, I do know you can have refunds put onto those cards, but that's not my understanding for the stimulus.
Okay. Let's see. Tax question. Trying to file taxes, but a 1099 is holding me up. I haven't sold any real estate. What do I do? Does that make sense to you on the 1099?
Absolutely. It's a great question. And just keep in mind, you don't have to have the 1099 to file your taxes. A 1099 is a form that's usually given to the self-employed. You know how much money that person paid you. I mean, it's always nice to have the document to make sure you're both on the same page, but you can still file your Schedule C and report your income.
Okay, Megan says, I don't file and use the TurboTax form to file for the stimulus check, so she could file now. And so would that work?
No, I mean, again, you're kind of clogging up the system. Keep in mind that, extra, I don't know, I've heard some statistics that hundreds of thousands of people went on that never filed, were not required to file, but put tax returns in thinking they had to file something to get the stimulus. If you're not required to file, do not add another tax return. If you are in the system, or go to the non-filing. Maybe you don't get Social Security. Maybe you live off of a trust fund or something that doesn't require you to file taxes, then you can go onto the IRS website as a non-filer, put your information in, and the stimulus will come to you. Might not be as fast as some of the others, but it will come to you.
Okay, let's go next to Ann. Ann, what's your question, Ann?
Good morning. My question is, I logged in, and for me, I found where it said I would get a paper check. But when I checked for my husband, it says there's a problem with his Social Security number. Why am I getting that error code? We have had to pay the last 2 years, but we've always filed joint, and there's never been a change in address or Social Security or anything like that.
Great question, and I'm wondering if by some chance you might have accidentally put in the wrong number. I know I do this all the time, maybe inverted a couple numbers to have the wrong one for your husband, because if you're showing a paper check, you're a joint filer, he should be showing a paper check. The only thing I can think of is maybe when you typed in the information, you accidentally put in a digit wrong on his Social Security.
Double check that.
Because you both should have paper.
I'll tell you this, knowing Ann, she's very, very thorough, so I'd be surprised. But it's possible if she did get it right, there still could be some kind of snafu, and that's very frustrating getting through. I guess stay on that, right? All right, listen, we got to take a break on that note. Dr. Friday, when we come back, more calls and more comments and questions off of Facebook at newschannel5.com right after this. Stay with us.